Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about MAGA Communism, my opinion on it. And from what I've seen online, is it started off as a joke. It's probably still a joke. I don't know many proponents of it. I seen one guy talk about it seriously for maybe like a 9-minute video where he contrasts the U.S. economy to China. Basically, it seems like it's gaining traction mainly as a meme, but things start off half-heartedly and then people kind of get past the humor and then they start wanting it, and then that's kind of how like these political fads start nowadays. So I'm going to give an opinion on it, and it basically to me seems just like standard right-wing conservatism, like kind of a standard Richard Nixon-esque type philosophy with a bit more authoritarianism to it. I think a lot of the people who are proponents of this want to see Trump kind of as like a Maoist figure almost. So it's not a left-wing philosophy at all. It's definitely send people back to work type philosophy. And I think the work from home thing is unfair to working class people, which I'm a member of the working class. But I don't think that to give Trump Maoist powers to send like people to mines is something that's going to help the United States be great again. And I think the great again thing is always the similar echo of all fascist type governments. Like Mussolini said, make Italy great again. I think Hitler said something similar. So there is some danger there. I want to kind of compare Mao and Trump for a second, which seems crazy. But you look at somebody like Mao or someone like Stalin, and obviously they were to the bone communists. They wanted to have their vision of communism come to be. But the way that they did it, they were very frugal. They were very disciplinarian. They were very authoritarian. And these are things that typically come to far-right governments. So they were, in a way, at least socially conservative in a lot of ways. And you look at some of the mistakes Mao made with things like he wanted to kill all the mosquitoes because they were a plague, and then these birds ran out of food. They killed all these birds, and it screwed up the ecosystem, and it caused locusts to eat a lot of the crops, which is actually one of the reasons why the famine started in China and killed millions of people. There's other collective policies, obviously similar to Stalinism, that were in play, but mostly it was just incompetence, or at least in part just incompetence like that. And you've seen something like that similar in Trump, where he was suggesting injecting bleach with the COVID thing. I don't know what your opinion on COVID is. There's a lot of conspiracy theories. I think possibly it was like a US design thing that was in a lab. The Wuhan lab was right there. But I'm not going to get into that. He did suggest the bleach thing. He later said he was joking. I'm not sure if he was joking or if he was half joking, kind of like, hey, like, ha ha ha, like let's figure out some like populist cheap way that we can maybe mess up the populace a little bit, but get rid of this, send everyone back to work. It was kind of like a Maoist mindset in that way, where he was kind of just not based in reality. He was kind of wanting to be a dictator and just kind of do that. You can obviously see his admiration for people like Putin and Kim Jong-un, and he wants to have his legacy up there with theirs because he wants to be seen as a strongman. So I think there is some danger here, and especially to combine dictatorship with American conservatism, which is basically the survival of the fittest. I think it would get really ugly really, really fast, and I don't think it's something that you should support, but that's just my opinion. I think there's a lot of people debating what true communism is, if communism can work. Communism's been a failure in every country that it's tried, and I mean, technically that's true, and I think Stalin and Mao were big proponents of that, but I'm not a utopian that thinks like, hey, if Lenin lived a bit more and Trotsky took over, it would be great. I don't think so. I think that there needs to be some free markets in society. There needs to be some reward incentive for people that work hard and that are, there's always going to be a class of people that's going to be above, but you need to hold them responsible and find a mechanism that holds them responsible to pay a debt to society as well. And that's really hard because these people are stronger than the masses, and they group together. So that's how you get your oligarch class of people in virtually any society that's ever existed for like 20,000 years. It's always been that way. So to flip the pyramid upside down is something that I think working class should always strive to do, but I don't think we should be utopian. I don't think we should be violent about it. And I think it's very easy to get caught up in personality cults. I think Trump has a strong personality cult right now, which is similar to how Stalin had one, Hitler had one, Mao had one. Like all these strongmen, Mussolini obviously, Fidel even, like they've all had strong centered personality cults that identify with maybe not the majority, but the majority of people that can put leverage on the populace for sure. And they know their audience, they play to their audience, and it's easy to fall into that. And I think it's a mistake to do that. I think a better way to go is towards the Bernie Sanders. I'm always slurring my speech. Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden type approach. And a lot of people don't like Joe. He has a lot of criticism right now, obviously, because he can't really speak, and he supported the genocide in Gaza. So obviously not a great guy. He's kind of asleep at the wheel. I get all the criticism, but he did show up and he did support the unions. I believe there was a union strike in, I forget where it was. I wanted to say Vermont, but I'm probably wrong. It was somewhere in the East Coast. He actually showed up to the actual strike. He was on the picket lines with them. He was shaking hands. So this is a man that supports the working class, and I think I've been a proponent of a shorter work week so we can spend time with family and pursue the strength of the individual and try to kind of mend democracy a little bit and make it a little bit more left wing. And I think this MAGA communism is kind of a revision and a repression, kind of to get people who might be interested in communism or a fascist government or something, and then just kind of shoot them off to Trump supporting type policies, which really don't help anybody. So that's my opinion on this, and I don't know what else to say. So have a good day and peace out.